My husband and I are what you call dog people. Maybe even crazy dog people. We've been together for over 20 years and we have 0 human children. We currently live with our 5th, 6th, and 7th dogs together. When we moved into our house with our first dog, we invested in this enormous microfiber sectional couch. It was coated in this magical protectant that was guaranteed to withstand just about anything, a claim our many dogs have tested over the years with a list of unspeakable substances. So a few years later, when we were in the market for another couch for a different room, we knew instantly we were going to go to the same store and get the same material. This was going to be a piece of cake. So I went to the store by myself to narrow down the options, and I was greeted by what you'd picture a furniture salesman to look like. Short, bald guy with a thin mustache and an ugly suit. He said his name was Seymour, and I could not wait to tell him I wanted to see more couches. I told him about our previous successful purchase and asked what else was available in that amazing dog-proof material. As he was showing me around, I joked that instead of a normal person who'd sit on the couch and test the comfort, I was going to pretend to vacuum it. So I'm laughing at myself and bending down to grab a cushion, and Seymour's return attempt at humor was suggesting, "Wouldn't it be easier if you just shoot your dogs?" Excuse me? Shoot the dogs? I could have laughed along with shave the dogs, but shooting the dogs crossed a line. I decided this insensitive asshole was not going to get the commission from my slam dunk sale. As I walked out of the store, he followed behind me like a desperate puppy begging for attention. Now, any reasonable person may have just let that comment go, but I'm not always what you call reasonable. And his lethal solution to dog hair really hit a nerve. I was volunteering for a dog rescue, and we had dogs in the program that had been shot. And we had owners that threatened to shoot their dogs when they no longer wanted them. And I had made lost dog posters for dogs that had been found shot later. So dog shooting was not a joke to me. The only dog shooting I could support was with my camera. So I was so furious that I wrote a complaint letter to that store manager to let her know why I left the store empty-handed that day. In part, quote, "I imagine Seymour was joking when he suggested killing my dogs instead of vacuuming up after them, but I came to the store to buy a couch, not for a rude and insensitive comedy routine. Please understand this would have been an easy sale for even a rookie salesperson, but because of Seymour's suggestion to shoot my dogs, I will not be buying my couch from your store." I mailed the letter, and I wasn't thinking about it a week later when I was sitting on the couch, that original awesome couch, with my dogs. The phone rang, and it was Seymour, with a forced apology and his manager listening on the other line. He groveled, "I'm so sorry. I don't know why I said that. I love animals. I would never hurt one." I was not having it. A few months earlier, we had taken in a rescue from Hurricane Katrina, and she had a tumor that required surgery and 6 weeks of chemo. And Seymour had the unfortunate timing of calling just hours after I had gotten back from the vet from her first chemo treatment. I asked, "Seymour, what would you have said to a mom who couldn't have a white couch because her kid likes to eat Cheetos? Shoot the kid?" He was desperate to get me to come back to the store and close the deal, so he offered me free delivery. "Oh, yeah, big deal. Oh, you mean the same free delivery on the 10-foot tall posters outside the front of the store?" I told him I did not have time for his crap because I was taking care of my dog. But instead of putting her through surgery and chemo, he would have preferred we just shoot her, right? Honestly, I don't know what my end game was with writing that letter or not accepting his apology. I should have just gone back to the store and dealt with someone other than idiot Seymour. That fabric really was ideal. But instead, we went somewhere else and got something that's been covered with a slipcover ever since. So we both missed out on that decision. Fast forward a few years, and my sister is in the market for a new couch for her and her 2 dogs. So she goes to a different store and is explaining what she needs to her perfectly reasonable salesperson. That's when another sales guy overhears them and butts in with a story about his previous job. Some lady got really upset at him when he suggested she shoot her dogs. This is real. My horrified sister was like, "You asshole, that was my sister!" As much as his comment infuriated me at the time, I have eventually embraced the absurdity of it. When our dogs run in from outside and track mud all over the house, my husband and I concede that the only reasonable option is to shoot the dogs. And when I took my photography skills from the rescue and started a pet photo side business, the tagline on my business cards was, "I want to shoot your dogs." Thank you.